Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So carrying on with the quick vids for the Flysky ST16. This time we're going to be looking at the timers. So if we go into this menu, we notice as first option is timer 1, timer 2, the engine or the model. So you've got a whole bunch of different timers that you can set. So we'll start with timer 1. If you're doing an up timer, you've then also got the option of setting an alarm. So you can set the interval for the alarm. And if we just go down and set that to 1, so we can see what it does. Then we've got an option of what do we want to actually trigger the start. So we can press throttle and we can select it. You can then change whether you want it or where on earth you want it to trigger. So green is on, and then that's off, red will be off. So if your trigger's down there, it won't trigger it. If you move your throttle up onto the green, it should trigger it. You can set a specific box. So if you go outside that, it'll start the timer. Or we can have set like that. We can do symmetrical, or we can have a line. It really depends which one of these is going to work out better for you. But basically you can just play around with this. You can change any of the settings, but you just need to decide which one of these settings makes more sense for you. So it really does depend what you like, which makes more sense, and how this is going to trigger with your actual RC. So once we've got that set, so at the minute it's showing off. Well, then we go on. If you want a specific button or switch to stop it, we can do that. So we can come in, we can set it, and you can choose what you want to be on or off. So then we can come back out, we can look at as timer, and we can trigger it with a switch, or you can trigger it with the throttle. You've just got to remember, whenever something moves to an area that's off, it's going to stop the timer. So you're going to have to play about with them options, see which works best for you. Does seem to work quite well if you just have the throttle set. So if we back off throttle, it'll stop. If we click on, it'll start. And then we've got the option of whether you want the sound and vibration, or just vibration. For me, I've got the sound and vibration off because it gets really annoying trying to show people how to use the menus and everything, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You got it set to a certain time. When it hits that time, it'll then make a noise. Then we've got something we can use to reset it. So if I just poke one of the buttons on back, and we can come out of that one. So if I then press this button on back, it'll reset. So we've got as timer that'll count up. We've got as other options on here. So if we come down to this, we can choose whether we want it on the home display in position 1, position 2, or none at all. So I'll set this to position 1, and then as we come out, you can see this timer is in position 1. And it's just counting away, and if we stop it, it'll stop. If it goes, if we hit the go point, it'll start, and if we hit the reset, it'll reset. So if we come back in, we can also move it to position 2 or select none at all. Other options for us timers, we've got a down timer, and on this one you control the amount of time by changing this. So if we change this to 1 minute, and then you can have 30 seconds. So we could have a 1 minute 30 second timer. As soon as you hit go, it'll start counting down. Stop, it'll pause it, go again, and it'll just count down. And then again, you can decide what it triggers. So we can have sounds and vibration, or just vibration. But yeah, quite an interesting way of setting the timers. So if we just stop it and reset it, we can then come in. Timer 2 is exactly the same. Engine timer. We got a few different options on here, so you can set it so it has a button to reset. You can have it displayed on the home display again, position 1, 2 or 0. Status, so as soon as you're on throttle, it'll start. If it's 0 throttle, it's off, because it is an engine timer. And then your trigger point, so that's going to be at what point it triggers it. So you see, once we get up to the 50%, it'll start timing. If we're below 50, you'd class that as engine stopped. Depends how your RC's set up and what you're doing with it. But the status is how you actually use it, and then again we can set a button to reset. So if I press another button on the back, we can reset as timer. But yeah, it's just another timer, another way of using it. Then if we go in, finally, we got a model timer, and this is the same. So whenever the model's on, if you set the status to on, it'll just start counting as soon as you select this model. You've got an option to set a reset. So again, we can set something to reset it. And then you can have it displayed on 1 or 2 on the home screen. So if you really need to keep a check on how many hours a model's been running, but more useful probably for electric RCs where your ESC is powered up as soon as you connect the power. But I can think of plenty of reasons why you'd want to do this. It's just a timer of use. But yeah, that's the 4 different timers. 2 normal timers, an engine and a model lifetime timer. But yeah, just good ways of using these. There's plenty of options, plenty of ways you can set these up. And I can think of plenty of reasons why you might want a timer. If you want to turn all the functions off, basically you just whip through them and just zero them out, or go to the 2 little lines and it'll remove all functionality. And you can just work your way through the timers doing that. So anything you want to unassign, you can just go to the option, go to these 2 little lines, and it'll just deselect it basically. But yeah, that's the timer setup and how you choose what these 2 timers are. Any of these 2 timers you can highlight and go in, and that'll take you straight to the timer menu, so you can get to it that way. Or you can just go into your basic settings and then across to as timer. But thanks a lot for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Hopefully you find that useful, entertaining, or a bit of both, just like listening to my incessant ramblings. But don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.